Have you ever set a big stack of TNT on the road, hoping to blow up your nemesis, but the detonator itself explodes? Have you ever pulled the ripcord of your parachute and only a bunch of silverware comes out? It's not your fault.
Acme is evil. You're looking at the guy who is taking on the biggest corporation in the world.
They're suing us for every Acme product.
Acme denies all charges. That is for you. All I gotta do is walk out the store right now. Please don't. This is not funny. I thought cartoons are supposed to be funny.
Eyes on you, ready to show what you got.
Acme has knowingly been making dangerous products for decades.
Is there anyone in the whole world who cares what happened to the Coyote at all?
Yeah, I do.
He's one of the most hard-working people I've ever met. He would never think of quitting. And I think everyone should be inspired by that.
I don't just want him scared, I want him ruined.
We're all counting on you. Bye. I'm here for the pantsless modeling gig.
Utah? I don't pay you to tink Utah. I pay you to talk.
I did talk.
What did you tee? What did you talk?
Hello everyone and welcome to Hollybuzz. We're truly glad to have you here. If you enjoy discovering the stories behind Hollywood's biggest movies, learning fascinating facts about the film industry, and understanding what makes certain films so special, then you've come to the right place. Today we're going to spend some time exploring a movie that has attracted an incredible amount of attention from movie lovers all over the world, Coyote vs. Acme. Whenever a new Hollywood movie is announced, people usually become excited because of its stars, action scenes, or impressive visual effects. But every once in a while, a film becomes famous for a completely different reason. It becomes a topic of conversation long before audiences even sit inside a theater. People start discussing it on social media. Entertainment websites begin publishing articles about it. Movie fans start sharing their opinions. And the excitement continues to grow month after month. Coyote vs. Acme is one of those rare movies. It has managed to capture the attention of audiences in a very unusual way, making it one of the most talked about Hollywood projects in recent years. In today's video, we're not going to rush through the information or simply read facts that you can find anywhere on the internet. Our goal is much bigger than that. We want to understand why this movie has attracted so much attention, why so many people have been waiting for it, and what makes it different from countless other Hollywood releases. Sometimes a movie becomes memorable not only because of what appears on the screen, but also because of the journey it takes before reaching audiences. That's exactly what makes this film so fascinating to discuss. Whether you followed this project from the very beginning, or this is the first time you've heard its name, this video is designed for everyone. You don't need to be an expert in Hollywood or a lifelong fan of classic animation to enjoy what we're about to explore. Everything will be explained in a simple, clear, and easy to understand way, so that every viewer can follow along comfortably from beginning to end. One thing that makes movies truly enjoyable is understanding the story behind their creation. Many people only watch a film and then move on to the next one. But when you learn about the background of a movie, the effort involved in making it, the creative decisions behind it, and the reasons it became so popular, you begin to appreciate it on a completely different level. That's exactly the experience we hope to create throughout this video. Here at Hollybuzz, we believe that every interesting movie deserves more than just a quick review. It deserves a thoughtful discussion that helps viewers understand why it matters. That's why we always try to present information in a simple, organized, and engaging way, allowing you to enjoy the journey while learning something new at the same time. As we continue, we'll take our time to explore this movie step by step. Every section has been carefully planned so that each part introduces fresh information without repeating what we've already discussed. This approach allows us to build a complete picture of the movie gradually, making the experience enjoyable from start to finish. So if you're someone who enjoys Hollywood films, behind-the-scenes stories, fascinating movie facts, and detailed explanations, then make yourself comfortable because you're in for an interesting journey. Stay with us until the very end, because every part of this video has something valuable to offer. Now, without wasting any more time, let's begin our complete exploration of Coyote versus Acme. Before we move forward, let's take a moment to understand exactly what you'll get from this video. This is not going to be a short movie review or a quick summary that ends in just a few minutes. Our goal is to explore Coyote versus Acme from beginning to end in a clear, detailed, and well-organized way, so that by the time you finish watching, you'll have a complete understanding of this fascinating Hollywood project. Throughout this video, we'll break the movie down into separate chapters, with each chapter focusing on one specific topic only. This approach allows us to explore every aspect of the film in depth without rushing through important details. Instead of mixing different subjects together, we'll examine each one individually so that every part of the discussion remains clear, easy to follow, and enjoyable. As we progress, you'll discover how this movie came into existence, what makes it different from other Hollywood releases, and why it managed to attract so much attention from audiences around the world. We'll gradually move through every important stage of the film's journey, explaining each topic in simple language while also providing the background needed to understand its importance. This video is designed for every type of viewer. If you're already a fan of Looney Tunes, you'll gain a deeper appreciation for how this project fits into the franchise. If you've never watched a Looney Tunes cartoon before, don't worry. Everything will be explained in a way that's easy to understand. You don't need any prior knowledge to enjoy this discussion because we'll build the information step by step. Rather than focusing only on entertainment, this video also aims to answer the questions that many viewers have about the movie. We'll separate facts from assumptions, explain important details carefully, and provide a complete picture of the film using reliable information. Every section has been planned so that it naturally leads into the next one, creating a smooth viewing experience from beginning to end. Another important thing about this video is that we won't rush from one subject to another. Every chapter has enough space to explain its topic properly, allowing you to understand not only what happened, but also why it happened and why it matters. Our objective is to make this video informative, engaging, and easy to follow, whether you're watching for entertainment, curiosity, or simply because you love Hollywood movies. So, if you're looking for a complete and detailed breakdown instead of a short overview,
You're in the right place.
stay with us throughout the entire video because each new section will introduce fresh information, helping you understand Coyote versus Acme one step at a time until you have the full picture. Coyote versus Acme is a Hollywood live-action and animated comedy film inspired by the world-famous Looney Tunes universe, one of the most iconic cartoon franchises ever created. While many people recognize Looney Tunes because of characters like Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, Porky Pig, Sylvester, Tweety, and the Roadrunner, this movie places its primary focus on a character who has spent decades entertaining audiences through determination, persistence, and spectacular failures. Wile E. Coyote. For generations, viewers have watched him come up with one clever plan after another in an endless attempt to catch the Roadrunner. Every new invention appeared to be the perfect solution, yet almost every attempt ended in complete disaster. Those hilarious failures became one of the longest-running jokes in animation history and helped make Wile E. Coyote one of the most recognizable cartoon characters in the world. Instead of repeating the same chase that audiences have seen for decades, Coyote vs. Acme introduces a completely fresh concept. The film asks a question that many fans never seriously considered before. What happens when someone who has failed hundreds of times finally decides to stop chasing his target and starts asking who should be held responsible for those failures? This single idea transforms a familiar cartoon situation into an entirely new cinematic experience. Rather than relying only on classic slapstick comedy, the movie expands its world by introducing a legal conflict that allows the story to move in a direction never explored before in the Looney Tunes universe. One of the most interesting aspects of the film is its storytelling style. It combines real human actors with animated Looney Tunes characters in the same environment, allowing both worlds to exist together naturally. This filmmaking technique creates a unique viewing experience where cartoon physics, exaggerated comedy, and real-world emotions interact in ways that feel both nostalgic and modern. It pays tribute to the classic cartoons that audiences have loved for decades while also presenting them in a format that appeals to today's moviegoers. The overall tone of Coyote vs. Acme is designed to appeal to multiple generations. Younger viewers can enjoy the colorful animation, visual comedy, and fast-paced humor, while older audiences may appreciate the nostalgic references, clever writing, and the fresh interpretation of characters they grew up watching. Instead of targeting only children or only adults, the film attempts to create an experience that entire families can enjoy together. Another important feature of the movie is its balance between comedy and emotion. While the film remains faithful to the humorous spirit of Looney Tunes, it also gives greater attention to character, motivation, and storytelling than traditional short cartoons ever could. By expanding the world around Wile E. Coyote, the filmmakers create opportunities to explore themes such as determination, persistence, frustration, responsibility, and the consequences of repeated failure, all while maintaining the lighthearted entertainment that defines the franchise. Visually, the film represents another major step in blending traditional animation with modern filmmaking technology. Instead of treating the animated characters as separate from the human world, the movie integrates them into realistic environments, allowing both styles to exist side by side. This creative approach preserves the timeless charm of classic animation while taking advantage of today's cinematic techniques, making the world feel both familiar and completely new. Overall, Coyote vs. Acme is far more than a simple comedy or another adaptation of a famous cartoon. It is a fresh reinterpretation of one of animation's oldest and most beloved rivalries, combining classic Looney Tunes humor with modern storytelling, live-action filmmaking, and a completely original concept. By taking familiar characters and placing them in an unexpected situation, the film offers audiences something that feels nostalgic, creative, entertaining. And unlike any previous Looney Tunes movie, when people hear the name Coyote vs. Acme for the first time, many assume that it's simply an animated comedy made only for children. However, that assumption doesn't tell the full story. One of the reasons this movie has attracted so much attention is because it doesn't fit into just one genre. Instead, it combines several different genres to create a unique viewing experience that appeals to audiences of different ages. At its core, Coyote vs. Acme is a live-action and animated comedy. Comedy has always been the heart of the Looney Tunes universe, and this movie continues that tradition. The humor comes from clever situations, visual gags, exaggerated cartoon physics, witty dialogue, and the classic style of entertainment that has made Looney Tunes famous for generations. Instead of relying only on modern jokes, the film also preserves the timeless slapstick comedy that audiences have enjoyed for decades. The movie is also a family film, which means it is designed to be enjoyed by viewers of all ages. Children can enjoy the colorful animation, funny action, and expressive cartoon characters, while adults can appreciate the nostalgic references, creative storytelling, and humorous situations that connect back to the classic cartoons many of them grew up watching. This balance allows parents and children to enjoy the movie together rather than targeting only one specific audience. Another important genre in the film is adventure. Rather than keeping the story simple, the movie takes its characters through a series of unexpected events, challenges, and situations that keep the narrative moving forward. Adventure gives the story energy and excitement, ensuring that viewers remain interested from beginning to end while constantly wondering what will happen next. One of the most distinctive elements of Coyote vs. Acme is its courtroom comedy aspect. Unlike traditional Looney Tunes cartoons, which mainly focus on endless chases and physical comedy, this film introduces a legal conflict that becomes a major part of the story. By placing cartoon characters inside a courtroom setting, the filmmakers create opportunities for clever humor, entertaining arguments, and situations that feel completely fresh while still remaining faithful to the playful spirit of the franchise. The movie also includes elements of satire. Satire is a style of storytelling that uses humor to comment on real-world ideas, organizations, or behavior. Without losing its lighthearted tone, the film uses its fictional world to create funny situations that may remind viewers of issues found in everyday life. This adds another layer of entertainment, especially for older audiences who enjoy humor with a little more depth. Finally, the movie can also be described as fantasy because it takes place in a world where animated characters and real human beings exist together naturally. The laws of physics, reality, and imagination blend together, allowing impossible events to happen in ways that feel completely normal. Within the film's universe, this combination of fantasy and realism creates a world that is both believable and wonderfully imaginative. Overall, Coyote vs. Acme cannot be defined by a single genre. It successfully combines comedy, family entertainment, adventure, courtroom drama, satire, fantasy, and live-action animation into one complete cinematic experience. By blending all of these genres together, the filmmakers have created a movie that offers laughter, excitement, nostalgia, and creativity, making it appealing to both longtime Looney Tunes fans and audiences discovering these characters. For the very first time, the official theatrical release date of Coyote vs. Acme is August 28, 2026, when the movie is scheduled to arrive in cinemas across the United States. For movie fans, a release date is much more than just a day on the calendar. It marks the moment when a project that has taken years of planning, writing, filming, visual effects work, editing, and post-production finally reaches its audience. In the case of Coyote vs. Acme, this date became especially meaningful because the film's journey to the big screen was far from ordinary. Choosing a release date is one of the most important decisions a movie studio makes. Major studios carefully study the release calendar to decide when a film has the best chance of reaching its target audience. They consider school holidays, competing movie releases, seasonal trends, and audience behavior before selecting the most suitable weekend. A well-planned release date can significantly improve a film's chances of attracting a large audience during its opening weeks. For Coyote vs. Acme, the late August release places the movie at the end of the summer movie season in the United States. This period often attracts families, animation fans, and general moviegoers who are still looking for major theatrical releases before the busy fall season begins. It also gives the film an opportunity to reach audiences during a time when many people are still interested in visiting cinemas. Once a release date is officially announced, it also becomes the starting point for the movie's promotional campaign. Trailers, TV spots, interviews, posters, social media content, and advanced screenings are usually scheduled around this date to build excitement and keep the movie in public discussion. As the release day approaches, audience anticipation typically increases, with fans sharing trailers, discussing expectations, and predicting how the movie might perform. Another important aspect of a release date is that it provides enough time for advance ticket sales, cinema scheduling, and international distribution planning. Theater chains organize screening times, distributors prepare regional releases, and marketing teams coordinate promotional activities to ensure that audiences are aware of the film before it reaches theaters. For movie enthusiasts, the release date also represents the end of a long wait. After months or even years of hearing news, watching trailers, reading interviews, and following updates, audiences finally get the opportunity to experience the completed film on the big screen. That moment is often one of the most exciting parts of a movie's entire journey. As of now, Coyote vs. Acme is officially scheduled to be released in US theaters on August 28, 2026 for fans of Looney Tunes, animation, and Hollywood family entertainment. That date marks the beginning of a new chapter for one of the most beloved cartoon franchises ever created. The runtime of a movie is one of the first things many audiences look at before deciding to watch it. It tells viewers how much time they need to set aside and often gives an idea of the movie's pacing and storytelling style. In the case of Coyote vs. Acme, the official runtime is about 1 hour and 29 minutes. An 89-minute runtime is considered fairly standard for a family comedy. It is long enough to tell a complete story with well-developed characters and entertaining moments, while remaining short enough to keep viewers engaged from beginning to end. Family films are usually designed to move at a steady pace, avoiding long or slow sequences that might cause younger audiences to lose interest. The filmmakers appear to have chosen this runtime carefully, since Coyote vs. Acme combines live-action scenes with animated Looney Tunes characters. The story benefits from a fast-moving structure. Rather than spending too much time on a single scene, the film is expected to move smoothly from one important moment to the next, maintaining the energetic style that Looney Tunes has been famous for over many decades. Another advantage of a runtime under 90 minutes is that it allows the comedy to remain fresh. Comedy films often rely on timing, and shorter runtimes help prevent jokes from becoming repetitive. Every scene has a purpose, whether it develops the story, introduces a new character, or delivers an entertaining moment. This creates a viewing experience that feels lively and consistently engaging. The runtime also reflects the movie's target audience. Since the film is intended for families as well as longtime Looney Tunes fans, keeping the story concise makes it easier for children and adults alike to stay involved throughout the entire movie. At the same time, the length provides enough room for character development, emotional moments, and the central conflict without making the film feel rushed. From a theatrical perspective, a shorter runtime also has practical advantages. Cinemas can schedule more screenings in a single day, making it easier for audiences to find convenient showtimes. More daily screenings can also help the movie reach a larger number of viewers during its theatrical run. It's important to remember that the quality of a movie is never determined by its length alone. Some of the most memorable films ever made have been under 90 minutes, while some much longer films have struggled to maintain audience interest. What truly matters is how effectively the filmmakers use every minute to tell an engaging story. Coyote versus Acme. An approximate runtime of 89 minutes suggests a movie that is designed to be entertaining, fast-paced, family-friendly, and focused on delivering a complete cinematic experience without unnecessary delays. Instead of stretching the story, the film aims to make every scene meaningful, keeping the audience entertained from the opening moments until the final. Credits: the production companies behind a movie play a crucial role in bringing a story from an idea to the big screen. They are responsible for financing the project, hiring the creative team, managing production, overseeing post-production, and ensuring that the film is completed according to schedule and budget. In the case of Coyote vs. Acme, the movie was produced through a collaboration between Warner Bros. Pictures, Warner Bros. Animation, Domain Entertainment, and Gun Films. Among these, Warner Bros. Pictures is the primary studio behind the film. Founded more than a century ago, Warner Bros. Is one of Hollywood's oldest and most influential film studios. Over the decades, it has produced countless blockbuster movies across a wide range of genres, from superhero films and science fiction, adventures to family entertainment, and classic animation. Since Looney Tunes has been one of Warner Bros.' most iconic properties for generations, it is only natural that the studio took the lead in bringing Coyote vs. Acme to life. Another key company involved is Warner Bros. Animation, the division responsible for developing and producing animated content based on Warner Bros. Legendary characters. For decades, this studio has helped preserve the legacy of Looney Tunes while introducing the beloved characters to new generations. Through television series, animated specials, and feature films, their experience in maintaining the personalities, humor, and visual style of these classic characters was essential in ensuring that while Coyote and the other animated figures remained faithful to their original identity. The film was also produced by Domain Entertainment, an independent production company that has been involved in several major Hollywood projects. Production companies like Domain Entertainment often work closely with major studios, contributing to project development, production management, and the overall creative process. Their role helps coordinate the many different departments required to complete a modern feature film. Another important production company associated with the project is Gun Films, founded by filmmaker James Gunn and producer Peter Safran. Although James Gunn did not direct Coyote vs. Acme, his production company participated in supporting the project during its development. Having experienced filmmakers connected to a project often brings valuable creative guidance and industry expertise throughout the production process. Producing a hybrid movie like Coyote vs. Acme is far more complex than producing either a fully live-action film or a fully animated one. The production companies must coordinate live-action filming, animation teams, visual effects artists, editors, sound designers, and many other departments. Every scene involving animated characters interacting with real actors requires careful planning, advanced visual effects, and close collaboration between multiple creative teams to ensure the final result feels seamless and believable. The involvement of several experienced production companies also reflects the ambitious nature of the project. Each company contributes its own expertise, resources, and creative strengths, allowing the filmmakers to combine classic animation with modern filmmaking technology while maintaining the spirit of the original Looney Tunes franchise. Overall, the production companies behind Coyote vs. Acme played a fundamental role in transforming a creative concept into a completed feature film. Through the combined efforts of Warner Bros. Pictures, Warner Bros. Animation, Domain Entertainment, and Gun Films, the movie was able to unite classic cartoon heritage with contemporary cinematic storytelling, creating a project that stands out as one of the most distinctive Hollywood releases of 2026, the director of Coyote vs. Acme is Dave Green, an American filmmaker known for his ability to combine live-action storytelling with large-scale visual effects and family-friendly entertainment. Although he is not among the most prolific directors in Hollywood, Dave Green has built a reputation for taking on ambitious projects that require a careful balance of humor, emotion, action, and computer-generated imagery. These qualities made him a suitable choice to direct a film like Coyote vs. Acme, where animated Looney Tunes characters interact naturally with live-action actors. Before working on Coyote vs. Acme, Dave Green directed Earth to Echo in 2014, a science fiction adventure that followed a group of young friends who encounter a mysterious alien visitor. The film was praised for capturing a sense of adventure through the eyes of children while blending practical filmmaking with visual effects. It demonstrated Green's ability to tell entertaining stories that appeal to family audiences without losing emotional depth. He later directed Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows in 2016, a much larger studio production featuring iconic characters, action sequences, and extensive visual effects. Working on a franchise of that scale gave him valuable experience in managing complex productions that combined real actors with computer-generated characters, an experience that would later prove useful while directing Coyote vs. Acme. One of Dave Green's strengths as a director is his focus on making visual effects support the story rather than overwhelm it. In movies that rely heavily on animation and CGI, it is easy for spectacular visuals to become the main attraction. Green's directing style instead aims to keep audiences emotionally connected to the characters while using visual effects to enhance the storytelling. This balance is particularly important in a film like Coyote vs. Acme, where the audience needs to believe that animated Looney Tunes characters belong naturally in a world shared with human actors. Directing a hybrid film presents unique creative challenges. Every animated character must be carefully planned long before filming begins, even though those characters are not physically present on the set during production. Actors often perform while imagining where animated characters will eventually appear, requiring the director to carefully coordinate camera angles, timing, movement, and performances. Dave Green's previous experience with visual effects-driven filmmaking helped him manage these technical demands while maintaining a natural flow between animation and live action. Another important aspect of Green's work is his respect for established franchises. Rather than completely reinventing familiar characters, he generally tries to preserve the qualities that audiences already love while presenting them in fresh and modern ways. In Coyote vs. Acme, this approach helps maintain the classic personalities of the Looney Tunes characters while introducing them through a new cinematic concept. Overall, Dave Green's background in family entertainment, adventure films, and visual effects-heavy productions made him a logical choice to direct Coyote vs. Acme. His experience working with large studio projects, combined with his ability to balance humor, storytelling, and technical filmmaking, played an important role in bringing this unique Hollywood film to the screen. The screenplay of Coyote vs. Acme is one of the most important reasons why the movie stands out from a typical Looney Tunes adventure. Instead of simply creating another story about Wile E. Coyote chasing the Roadrunner with ACME gadgets, the writers decided to imagine an entirely new situation that had never been explored in the history of the franchise. This fresh concept gave the filmmakers an opportunity to transform a classic cartoon joke into a full-length feature film with its own identity while still respecting the spirit of the original characters. The screenplay was written by Sammy Birch, whose work focuses on building character-driven stories with humor and emotional depth. Rather than relying only on slapstick comedy, the script gives the audience a structured narrative with clear motivations, meaningful relationships, and a conflict that develops naturally throughout the film. This approach allows the movie to appeal not only to children, but also to older viewers who appreciate stronger storytelling. The story itself is based on Coyote vs. Acme, a humorous 1990 The New Yorker article written by Ian Fraser. In that satirical piece, the idea was simple but brilliant. After years of suffering because of faulty ACME products, Wile E. Coyote finally decides to take legal action against the company. The article became popular because it treated a famous cartoon joke as if it were a real legal case, blending absurd comedy with serious courtroom language. That clever premise eventually inspired the filmmakers to expand the concept into a feature-length Hollywood movie. During development, the screenplay also received contributions from James Gunn, who helped shape the story during its early stages. His involvement added experience in combining comedy, emotional moments, and imaginative storytelling, helping strengthen the film's overall narrative while preserving the playful nature of the Looney Tunes universe. Writing a screenplay for a movie like Coyote vs. Acme presented unique creative challenges. The writers needed to remain faithful to characters that audiences have known for generations while also introducing a completely original story that could sustain a full-length feature film. Every scene had to balance cartoon-style humor with a believable, emotional journey, ensuring that longtime Looney Tunes fans would recognize the classic personalities, while new audiences could easily connect with the story. Another challenge was creating dialogue in situations that would work naturally in a world where animated characters and live-action humans interact. The screenplay had to establish rules for this shared universe, allowing cartoon logic and real-world storytelling to exist together without confusing the audience. Achieving that balance required careful writing, consistent character behavior, and a tone that remained entertaining from beginning to end. Overall, the screenplay of Coyote vs. Acme represents an imaginative reinterpretation of one of animation's oldest-running jokes. By expanding a short satirical article into a full cinematic story, the writers created a script that combines classic Looney Tunes humor with modern storytelling techniques, giving the film a fresh identity while honoring the legacy of the beloved franchise. The production of Coyote vs. Acme was led by experienced Hollywood producers who played a vital role in turning an unusual idea into a feature-length film. While directors are responsible for bringing a story to life on screen, producers work behind the scenes to make sure every stage of the filmmaking process runs smoothly. From securing financing and assembling the creative team to supervising production schedules, managing budgets, and solving unexpected challenges, producers are involved in almost every major decision throughout a movie's development. The primary producers of Coyote vs. Acme are Chris Faria and James Gunn. Both have extensive experience in Hollywood and have worked on a variety of successful film projects. Their combined knowledge helped guide the movie from its earliest stages of development through production and toward its theatrical release. Chris Faria has spent many years working in the film industry, particularly on projects involving family entertainment, animation, and visual effects. Throughout his career, he has been associated with productions that required close collaboration between live-action filmmaking and digital animation. His experience made him well-suited for a movie like Coyote vs. Acme, where animated Looney Tunes characters interact naturally with human actors. As a producer, his responsibilities included helping oversee the overall production process, coordinating different creative departments, supporting the filmmakers, and ensuring that the project stayed on track during its development. Another key producer is James Gunn, one of Hollywood's best-known filmmakers and writers. Although he did not direct Coyote vs. Acme, he was involved as a producer after contributing to the project's early creative development. James Gunn is widely recognized for his ability to combine humor, emotional storytelling, memorable characters, and imaginative worlds. His experience with large studio productions and character-driven stories provided valuable creative support during the film's development, helping shape the overall direction of the project. The producers also had the important responsibility of coordinating communication between Warner Brothers, the filmmakers, the animation teams, visual effects artists, actors, and many other departments working on the movie. Since Coyote vs. Acme combines live-action filmmaking with animated characters, production required careful planning long before cameras began rolling. Every stage, from filming scenes with actors to integrating animated characters during post-production, needed close supervision to ensure that the final movie looked seamless and believable. Producing a modern Hollywood film is often a multi-year process, involving hundreds of people working across different departments. The producers must constantly balance creative ambitions with practical realities such as scheduling, budgeting, technology, and studio expectations. They are responsible for keeping the project moving forward, while allowing the writers director, actors, and artists the freedom to deliver their best work. Overall, the producers of Coyote vs. Acme played a central role in transforming an imaginative concept into a completed motion picture. Through careful planning, creative collaboration, and years of production management, they helped guide the project through every major stage of filmmaking. Their leadership ensured that the movie remained focused on delivering an entertaining experience while preserving the timeless spirit of the Looney Tunes franchise for a new generation of audiences. Every movie begins with a simple question. Why does this story deserve to be told? In the case of Coyote vs. Acme, the answer lies in both the legacy of the Looney Tunes franchise and the filmmakers' desire to present a completely fresh idea using characters that audiences have loved for generations. For decades, millions of people watched Wile E. Coyote chased the Roadrunner in countless animated shorts. No matter how creative his plans were, they almost always failed because the ACME products either malfunctioned or backfired. This running joke became one of the most famous traditions in animation history. However, after so many years, the filmmakers saw an opportunity to ask a completely different question. What if Wile E. Coyote finally stopped accepting his bad luck and decided to demand justice? That simple but original idea became the foundation of the entire movie. The purpose of making Coyote vs. Acme was not to remake the old cartoons scene by scene. Instead, the filmmakers wanted to expand the Looney Tunes universe by taking a familiar joke and imagining what could happen if it were treated like a real-life situation. By turning years of cartoon failures into the basis of a courtroom story, they created a concept that felt fresh while still respecting the classic characters and humor that audiences already knew. Another important reason behind the movie was to introduce Looney Tunes to a new generation. Many younger viewers are familiar with modern animated films but may not have grown up watching the original Roadrunner cartoons. The filmmakers wanted to create a movie that longtime fans could enjoy because of its nostalgia, while also giving new audiences an entertaining introduction to these legendary characters through a modern Hollywood production. The project also gave filmmakers the opportunity to experiment with storytelling. Rather than relying only on non-stop slapstick comedy, they wanted to build a complete narrative with character development, emotional moments, and meaningful conflicts, while still preserving the playful spirit that defines Looney Tunes. This approach allowed the movie to appeal to children, families, and adult audiences at the same time. Another reason for making the film was the unique creative challenge of combining live-action filmmaking with classic animation. Advances in visual effects technology made it possible to place beloved animated characters into realistic environments more naturally than ever before. The filmmakers saw this as an opportunity to create something visually different while honoring the artistic style of the original cartoons. The movie was also inspired by Ian Fraser's satirical 1990 The New Yorker article Coyote v. Acme, which imagined Wile E. Coyote taking legal action against the ACME Corporation. The article's clever premise showed that a simple cartoon joke could be expanded into a much larger story, and that idea eventually became the creative foundation for the film. Ultimately, Coyote vs. Acme was made because the creators believed that one of animation's oldest and funniest jokes still had untapped storytelling potential. Instead of repeating what audiences had already seen for decades, they chose to explore a completely new perspective while preserving the charm, humor, and imagination that made Looney Tunes a timeless part of popular culture. The result is a film that honors its past while introducing a fresh concept for today's audiences. The inspiration behind Coyote vs. Acme comes from a fascinating combination of classic animation, history, and a brilliant piece of satirical writing. For more than 70 years, audiences around the world watched Wile E. Coyote chase the Roadrunner using countless ACME products. Every gadget promised success, but almost every invention failed in spectacular fashion, leaving the Coyote frustrated while the Roadrunner escaped once again. This repeated joke became one of the most recognizable running gags in the history of animation. After decades of watching the same pattern, the creators began asking a simple but imaginative question. What if Wile E. Coyote finally decided that enough was enough? That question became the creative spark behind the entire movie. Instead of creating another traditional Roadrunner chase, the filmmakers wanted to look at the situation from a completely different perspective. They imagined Wile E. Coyote not as a cartoon character trapped in an endless cycle of failure, but as someone who had finally reached his breaking point. Rather than buying another ACME invention, he chooses to challenge the company responsible for manufacturing the products that have repeatedly failed him. This fresh perspective transformed one of animation's oldest jokes into the foundation of an entirely new feature film. The movie was directly inspired by Ian Frazier's satirical article Coyote v. Acme, published in the New Yorker magazine in TWAW 1990. In that article, the author humorously imagined Wile E. Coyote filing a legal case against the ACME Corporation for selling dangerous and defective products. Although the article was relatively short, its central idea was incredibly creative because it treated a cartoon situation as if it were a real legal dispute. Readers loved the originality of the concept, and over time it became one of the most memorable pieces connected to the Looney Tunes universe. The filmmakers recognized that this simple idea had enormous storytelling potential. A courtroom battle allowed them to expand the Looney Tunes world far beyond the familiar desert chase. It created opportunities for comedy, emotional moments, character development, and clever satire, all while remaining faithful to the playful spirit of the original cartoons. Instead of replacing the classic humor, the movie builds upon it by asking audiences to imagine what would happen if cartoon logic suddenly entered the real world. Another source of inspiration was the enduring popularity of the Looney Tunes characters themselves. Wile E. Coyote has always been more than just a character who fails repeatedly. He represents determination, persistence, creativity, and the refusal to give up. No matter how many times things go wrong, those qualities made him an ideal character to place at the center of a much larger story. The filmmakers wanted audiences to see a different side of him while preserving the personality that made him beloved for generations. The creators were also inspired by the opportunity to combine nostalgia with modern filmmaking. Millions of people grew up watching Looney Tunes cartoons, and the filmmakers wanted to respect that legacy while introducing these iconic characters to younger audiences in a completely fresh format. Advances in visual effects technology made it possible to blend animated characters with live-action performances more naturally than ever before, opening creative possibilities that earlier generations of filmmakers could only imagine. Ultimately, the inspiration behind Coyote vs. Acme came from looking at a familiar cartoon through a completely new lens, by taking a joke that audiences had laughed at for decades and asking one unexpected question. The filmmakers found a way to create a story that feels both nostalgic and original. It is this combination of classic animation, imaginative storytelling, and creative rethinking that makes the film's inspiration one of its most interesting and distinctive qualities. The official trailer for Coyote vs. Acme is designed to introduce audiences to the movie's unique concept without revealing every major surprise. Instead of telling the complete story, it focuses on creating curiosity by showing the film's tone, visual style, and the unusual situation that forms the heart of the movie. From the very first moments, the trailer makes it clear that this is not a traditional Roadrunner cartoon. It immediately presents a fresh direction that separates the film from previous Looney Tunes adaptations while still preserving the classic charm of its beloved characters. One of the first things viewers notice is the seamless combination of live action and animation. The trailer shows animated Looney Tunes characters sharing the screen with real actors in a way that feels surprisingly natural. This blend is one of the movie's biggest selling points because it demonstrates how modern visual effects technology can bring classic cartoon characters into realistic environments without losing their original personalities or expressive animation style. The trailer also introduces Wile E. Coyote in a very different role from what audiences have known for decades. Instead of endlessly chasing the Roadrunner with another ACME invention, he appears determined to confront the company that has repeatedly failed him. This immediately establishes the central idea of the movie and creates a sense of curiosity. Viewers begin asking questions about how such a courtroom conflict will unfold and how a familiar cartoon joke can become the foundation of a feature-length Hollywood film. Visually, the trailer maintains the colorful, energetic atmosphere that fans expect from the Looney Tunes franchise. The cinematography balances realistic settings with exaggerated cartoon action, allowing both worlds to exist together naturally. Every shot is carefully designed to remind audiences of the classic cartoons while presenting them through a modern cinematic style that feels fresh. Rather than outdated, the editing of the trailer plays an equally important role. Instead of revealing every important scene, it offers quick glimpses of different moments, allowing viewers to experience the humor, emotional beats, and visual spectacle without spoiling the complete narrative. This pacing keeps the audience interested while encouraging them to imagine what happens between the scenes shown on screen. Music and sound design further strengthen the trailer's impact. The soundtrack gradually builds excitement as the preview progresses, while familiar cartoon sound effects are blended with modern cinematic audio to create a feeling that is both nostalgic and contemporary. This combination helps establish the overall tone of the film, suggesting that it respects the original Looney Tunes legacy while embracing today's filmmaking techniques. Another important aspect of the trailer is how it appeals to different generations of viewers. Older audiences immediately recognize the classic characters they grew up watching, while younger viewers are introduced to them through impressive visuals and an entirely new story concept. This broad appeal helps position the movie as entertainment for families, longtime fans, and newcomers alike. Overall, the trailer succeeds in doing exactly what a strong movie trailer should do. It introduces the central premise, showcases the film's visual quality, highlights its unique blend of live action and animation, and creates enough mystery to encourage audiences to watch the full movie. Rather than giving away the entire story, it builds anticipation by offering just enough information to make viewers curious about what happens next, making it an effective introduction to one of the most unusual Hollywood films of 2026. The filming locations of Coyote vs. Acme played an important role in creating a world where live-action actors and animated Looney Tunes characters could exist together naturally. Although much of what audiences see on screen is enhanced through computer-generated imagery and visual effects, the movie was still filmed in real locations that provided the foundation for its realistic environments. Principal photography for Coyote vs. Acme primarily took place in New Mexico, USA, particularly in and around the city of Albuquerque. Over the past 2 decades, New Mexico has become one of Hollywood's most popular filming destinations because of its diverse landscapes, modern production facilities, experienced film crews, and attractive tax incentives offered to filmmakers. These advantages have encouraged many major studios to shoot large-scale productions in the state. Albuquerque offers a wide variety of filming environments within a relatively small area. Depending on the needs of a production, filmmakers can access modern city streets, office buildings, residential neighborhoods, highways, industrial areas, and wide-open desert landscapes. This versatility makes it easier for directors to create multiple fictional settings without moving the production to several different states. Albuquerque offers a wide variety of filming environments within a relatively small area. Depending on the needs of a production, filmmakers can access modern city streets, office buildings, residential neighborhoods, highways, industrial areas, and wide-open desert landscapes. This versatility makes it easier for directors to create multiple fictional settings without moving the production to several different states. For Coyote vs. Acme, these real-world locations provided the perfect backdrop for integrating animated characters into believable environments. Every live-action scene had to be carefully planned so that the animation team could later add Wile E. Coyote and other Looney Tunes characters during post-production. Camera angles, lighting, actor positioning, and movement all had to be recorded with exceptional precision to ensure that the animated characters would appear naturally within each scene. Many interior sequences were also filmed on specially constructed sound stages. Studio sets give filmmakers complete control over lighting, camera movement, and special effects while allowing visual effects artists to add animated elements more efficiently during post-production. Controlled studio environments are especially important for hybrid movies because they make it easier to match live-action footage with computer-generated animation. New Mexico's climate also offers practical benefits for film production. The region experiences many sunny days throughout the year, reducing weather-related delays and allowing production schedules to remain more consistent. Stable weather conditions help crews complete outdoor scenes efficiently while maintaining visual continuity across different shooting days. Another reason major studios frequently choose New Mexico is its well-developed film industry infrastructure. The state has invested heavily in production facilities, equipment rental companies, post-production services, and skilled local film professionals. This allows large productions like Coyote vs. Acme to complete much of their work within the same region, reducing logistical challenges in production costs. Although audiences will see a variety of fictional locations throughout the finished movie, many of those settings began as carefully selected real places in New Mexico before being expanded and transformed through visual effects. This combination of authentic locations and advanced digital technology allows the film to create a world that feels grounded in reality, while still embracing the imaginative style of the Looney Tunes universe. Overall, the filming locations of Coyote vs. Acme demonstrate how modern filmmaking blends practical photography with cutting-edge visual effects. By using the landscapes, cities, and studio facilities of New Mexico, the filmmakers were able to build a convincing world where classic animated characters and real human actors could share the screen in a seamless and entertaining way. One of the strongest aspects of Coyote vs. Acme is its characters. Instead of existing only to create funny moments, each major character has a clear purpose in the story and helps move the narrative forward. Although the movie stays true to the humorous spirit of Looney Tunes, it also gives its main characters more personality, motivation, and emotional depth than audiences usually see in the classic animated shorts. The heart of the movie is Wile E. Coyote. For decades, he has been known as the genius inventor, who spends his entire life trying to catch the Roadrunner. What makes him unique is that he never gives up. No matter how many times his plans fail, he always comes back with another idea, another invention, and another attempt. In this film, however, the audience gets to see a different side of him. Instead of being remembered only as a character who constantly fails, he becomes someone who finally decides to stand up for himself. His determination, intelligence, patience, and resilience become much more important than his failures. This fresh interpretation allows viewers to connect with him on a deeper emotional level while still enjoying the classic comedy that made him famous. Another important character is Kevin Avery, played by Will Forte. Kevin is an ordinary human lawyer who unexpectedly becomes involved in Wile E. Coyote's legal battle. At first, he appears to be someone who lacks confidence and struggles professionally, but as the story progresses, he begins to grow both personally and professionally. Through his relationship with the Coyote, Kevin discovers courage, responsibility, and the importance of standing up for what is right. His journey adds emotional depth to the story and creates a bridge between the animated world and the real human world, the movie's central opposing force is the ACME Corporation, represented by its powerful legal team and executives. Rather than portraying the company as a simple villain, the film presents it as a large corporation determined to protect its reputation and business interests. This creates a conflict that feels surprisingly realistic, despite taking place in a world shared by cartoon characters and humans. The legal battle becomes a clash between determination and corporate power, adding another layer of tension to the narrative. Although Roadrunner has a smaller role compared to the classic cartoons, the character remains an important symbol throughout the story. Roadrunner continues to represent the goal that Wile E. Coyote has pursued for his entire life. Even without speaking, the character's speed, confidence, and playful personality remain true to the original cartoons, preserving the timeless rivalry that audiences have loved for generations. One of the movie's greatest strengths is how it preserves the personalities of these classic characters while placing them in completely new situations. Wile E. Coyote remains intelligent, creative, and endlessly determined. Roadrunner remains fast, mysterious, and almost impossible to defeat. The human characters behave realistically, allowing the audience to believe that cartoons and humans can naturally exist in the same world without losing the identity of either. Another interesting aspect of the character writing is the balance between comedy and emotion. The movie never forgets that these are Looney Tunes characters, so humor remains an essential part of every major interaction. However, beneath the comedy, the film also explores themes such as persistence, disappointment, hope, friendship, fairness, and never giving up despite repeated failures. These emotional elements make the characters feel more relatable without changing what audiences have always loved about them. Overall, the characters in Coyote vs. Acme are much more than familiar cartoon faces. They each serve a meaningful role in the story while remaining faithful to their original personalities. by expanding Wile E. Coyote's character, introducing memorable human companions, and preserving the charm of the classic Looney Tunes universe. The film creates a cast that is entertaining, emotionally engaging, and capable of carrying a full-length Hollywood feature. When the first official trailer for Coyote vs. Acme was released, it immediately attracted significant attention from movie fans, entertainment websites, and longtime Looney Tunes followers. Within the first few days, the trailer accumulated millions of views across Warner Bros. Pictures' official YouTube channel and its various social media platforms. As clips and reactions spread across the internet, the trailer reached an even larger audience through shares, reaction videos, and discussions on platforms such as X, formerly Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Reddit. One of the biggest reasons for this strong response was curiosity. For years, people had heard about the project and its unusual production journey, but very few had actually seen footage from the film. Once the trailer was finally released, audiences were eager to see how Warner Bros. Had brought the classic Looney Tunes characters into a modern live-action world. The preview gave fans their first real look at Wile E. Coyote, interacting naturally with human actors, and that alone became one of the trailer's biggest talking points. Another major factor behind the trailer's popularity was nostalgia. Many viewers had grown up watching Roadrunner cartoons and instantly recognized the familiar personalities, expressions, and visual humor. At the same time, younger audiences who had never followed the classic cartoons became interested because the trailer presented the characters in a fresh and cinematic way. This combination of nostalgia and curiosity allowed the trailer to appeal to multiple generations simultaneously. Public reaction was largely positive. Many viewers praised the movie's visual effects, saying that the animated characters blended surprisingly well with the live-action environments. Fans also appreciated that Wile E. Coyote looked and behaved like the classic character they remembered, rather than being completely redesigned. This respect for the original Looney Tunes style reassured longtime fans that the filmmakers had remained faithful to the franchise. Another topic that received widespread discussion was the film's unique premise. Instead of showing another endless chase between Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner, the trailer introduced the unusual concept of the Coyote taking legal action against the ACME Corporation. Many viewers described this idea as creative, funny, and completely different from what they had expected, making the movie stand out from many other family films. The trailer also generated a large number of reaction videos on YouTube, where film critics, entertainment creators, and movie enthusiasts shared their first impressions. Social media users discussed hidden references, visual details, classic Looney Tunes callbacks, and their expectations for the full movie. This online conversation helped keep the trailer trending well beyond its initial release. Of course, not every response was completely positive. Some viewers remained cautious, wondering whether a feature-length film could successfully expand a joke that originally appeared in short cartoons. Others preferred to wait for the complete movie before forming a final opinion. However, even these discussions contributed to the movie's visibility, as they encouraged more people to watch the trailer and join the conversation. Overall, the official trailer successfully achieved its main objective. It created excitement, sparked discussion, and introduced Coyote vs. Acme to a global audience. By combining nostalgia, modern visual effects, familiar characters, and an original story concept, the trailer generated strong public interest and helped position the film as one of the most anticipated family movies of its release period. One of the most fascinating things about Coyote vs. Acme is that its behind-the-scenes story became almost as famous as the movie itself. While most Hollywood films are remembered only for what audiences see on screen, this project gained worldwide attention because of everything that happened during its journey from production to release. For many film fans, the real-life story behind the movie became just as interesting as the film itself. Principal photography was completed several years before the movie finally reached theaters. The success of any movie depends not only on its story but also on the actors who bring that story to life. In Coyote vs. Acme, the filmmakers assembled a talented cast that combines experienced Hollywood performers with the timeless charm of the animated Looney Tunes characters. Each actor plays an important role in building the film's emotional depth, comedy, and overall entertainment value. One of the leading stars of the movie is Will Forte, who plays Kevin Avery, Kevin is a lawyer who unexpectedly finds himself representing Wile E. Coyote in a legal battle against the Acme Corporation. Will Forte is well known for his natural comedic timing and expressive acting style, making him an excellent choice for a film that blends humor with heartfelt storytelling. Throughout his career, he has appeared in numerous comedy films and television series, earning a reputation for portraying ordinary characters caught in extraordinary situations. In Coyote vs. Acme, his performance serves as the bridge between the real world and the animated Looney Tunes universe. Another major member of the cast is John Cena, who portrays Buddy Crane, a confident and ambitious lawyer working for the Acme Corporation. Buddy Crane stands on the opposite side of the courtroom, creating much of the movie's legal conflict. John Cena is one of Hollywood's most recognizable action stars and a former WWE champion who successfully transitioned into acting. Over the years, he has built a strong reputation for balancing action, comedy, and dramatic performances, making him a strong addition to the film's cast. The movie also features Lana Condor, who plays Paige, an important supporting character connected to the story's human side. Lana Condor gained international recognition through several successful films and has become known for her warm screen presence and engaging performances. Her role helps expand the emotional dimension of the story while supporting the film's central narrative at eye. The center of the movie is, of course, Wile E. Coyote himself. Although he is an animated character rather than a live-action performer, he remains the true star of the film. One of the most remarkable aspects of Wile E. Coyote is that he traditionally communicates almost entirely through facial expressions, body language, and physical comedy rather than spoken dialogue. This silent style has been one of the defining characteristics of the character since his earliest Looney Tunes appearances, and the filmmakers preserve that tradition while allowing his personality to shine through modern animation. The film also includes appearances by other familiar Looney Tunes characters, helping maintain the classic atmosphere that fans have loved for generations. These beloved animated personalities bring additional humor, nostalgia, and energy to the story, while reminding audiences that the movie remains firmly connected to the larger Looney Tunes universe. One of the most impressive achievements of the cast is how naturally the live-action actors interact with animated characters. During filming, the actors had to imagine conversations and reactions with characters that would only be added months later through animation and visual effects. Their convincing performances make these interactions feel believable, allowing audiences to accept both worlds as part of the same cinematic universe. Overall, the cast of Coyote vs. Acme successfully combines experienced Hollywood talent with legendary animated icons. Each performer contributes something unique to the film, whether through comedy, emotional storytelling, or dramatic courtroom scenes. Together, they help transform an imaginative concept into a lively and entertaining cinematic experience that appeals to audiences of all ages. While the lead actors naturally receive most of the attention, the supporting cast of Coyote vs. Acme plays an equally important role in bringing the movie to life. Supporting characters help build the world around the main story, strengthen the emotional impact, create additional comedy, and make the overall narrative feel more complete. In a film that combines live-action performances with animated Looney Tunes characters, every supporting role contributes to making the fictional world feel believable and engaging. One of the most notable supporting actors is Tone Bell, who appears in an important supporting role. Although his character is not the central focus of the movie, he adds energy, humor, and personality to several key moments. Tone Bell is well known for his work in comedy, and his natural comic timing fits perfectly with the light-hearted atmosphere of the film. His interactions with the main characters help maintain the movie's entertaining pace while adding extra charm to the story. The film also features P.J. Byrne, another experienced Hollywood actor recognized for his versatility across comedy and drama. Throughout his career, Byrne has appeared in numerous television series and feature films, often portraying memorable supporting characters who leave a lasting impression despite limited screen time. In Coyote vs. Acme, his presence helps enrich the human side of the story and supports the overall narrative. Another valuable member of the supporting cast is Martha Kelly. Known for her understated and realistic acting style, she contributes to the film by portraying a character that adds authenticity to the story's everyday world. Performers like Martha Kelly help balance the exaggerated humor of the Looney Tunes universe with grounded human performances, making the interaction between animation and live action feel more natural. Beyond the live-action performers, the movie also includes several beloved Looney Tunes characters who appear in supporting roles. Although Wile E. Coyote remains the central animated figure, familiar faces from the Looney Tunes universe make appearances throughout the film, strengthening the connection to the classic franchise. These characters contribute additional humor, nostalgia, and visual entertainment, while reminding audiences of the rich legacy behind the Looney Tunes. Brand supporting characters also play an important role inside the courtroom and corporate environments shown in the movie. Lawyers, office employees, company representatives, judges, and other minor characters help create a realistic legal setting where the central conflict can unfold naturally. Even though these characters may appear only briefly, they provide the structure needed for the story to progress smoothly. One of the most impressive aspects of the supporting cast is how effectively they perform alongside animated characters. Since the Looney Tunes characters were added later through animation, the actors had to react to imaginary performances during filming. This required careful timing, concentration, and imagination. Their convincing performances help create the illusion that both animated and human characters truly share the same world. Although supporting actors may not receive as much attention as the film's stars, their contribution is essential to the movie's success. They provide emotional balance, comedic support, realistic interactions, and narrative depth, allowing the main characters to shine while making the overall story richer and more believable. Overall, the supporting cast of Coyote vs. Acme demonstrates how even smaller roles can have a significant impact on a film. Through a combination of experienced Hollywood performers and classic animated personalities, the supporting cast helps create a lively, entertaining, and fully realized cinematic world that enhances every aspect of the movie. Although Coyote vs. Acme is presented as a comedy, the movie explores several meaningful themes and symbols beneath its humorous surface. Like many classic Looney Tunes cartoons, it entertains audiences with funny situations and exaggerated action, but at the same time it encourages viewers to think about larger ideas such as perseverance, justice, responsibility, resilience, and standing up for oneself. These deeper themes are one of the reasons the film appeals to both younger audiences and adults. One of the strongest themes in the movie is perseverance. Wile E. Coyote has spent decades trying to achieve a single goal, yet he has never allowed failure to stop him. Every unsuccessful attempt only motivates him to try again. This determination has always been a defining part of his personality. In Coyote vs. Acme, that persistence takes on a new meaning. Instead of continuing the same endless chase, he chooses to confront the source of his repeated failures. This shift symbolizes the idea that true courage is not simply refusing to give up, it is also knowing when to change your approach and seek a better solution. Another major theme is justice and accountability. The central conflict asks an interesting question. Should a company be held responsible if its products consistently fail and cause harm? While the story is fictional and humorous, it reflects a real-world principle that individuals and corporations should be accountable for their actions. Through this courtroom conflict, the movie explores the importance of fairness, responsibility, and the belief that even the smallest individual has the right to challenge powerful institutions. The film also symbolizes the struggle between the ordinary individual and a powerful corporation. Wile E. Coyote represents someone with limited power who refuses to remain silent, while the ACME Corporation represents authority, influence, and corporate strength. This contrast creates a symbolic battle that many viewers can relate to, regardless of the movie's comedic setting. It reminds audiences that determination and persistence can sometimes be just as powerful as wealth or influence. Another important theme is hope in the face of repeated failure. Throughout his life, Wile E. Coyote experiences disappointment after disappointment, yet he never completely loses hope. His character symbolizes resilience, the ability to continue moving forward despite setbacks. Rather than portraying failure as the end of the journey, the movie presents it as an opportunity to learn, adapt, and keep striving toward a better outcome. The relationship between Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner also carries symbolic meaning. On the surface, it is simply a humorous rivalry, but it can also represent the pursuit of goals that always seem just beyond reach. The Roadrunner becomes a symbol of ambition, dreams, or success, while the Coyote represents the endless effort people often invest in trying to achieve those goals. This interpretation gives the classic chase a deeper emotional dimension without changing its playful nature, the ACME products themselves serve as another interesting symbol. For years, they promised quick and easy solutions, but consistently failed when it mattered most. Symbolically, they represent the temptation to rely on shortcuts instead of practical solutions. The movie encourages viewers to question whether every impressive promise can truly be trusted, reminding us that appearances and advertisements do not always reflect reality. At the same time, Coyote vs. Acme celebrates creativity and imagination. Wile E. Coyote is one of animation's greatest inventors. Even though his inventions rarely work as planned, his creativity never disappears. This symbolizes the importance of innovation, curiosity, and the willingness to keep experimenting despite setbacks. His character shows that intelligence is measured not only by success, but also by the courage to continue creating new ideas. Ultimately, Coyote vs. Acme is much more than a lighthearted comedy. Beneath its entertaining surface lies a thoughtful exploration of persistence, fairness, responsibility, resilience, creativity, and hope. By combining classic Looney Tunes humor with meaningful symbolic ideas, the film offers audiences an experience that is both enjoyable and surprisingly thought-provoking, proving that even a cartoon character's story can reflect lessons that resonate in the real world. Character development is one of the most important elements that separates Coyote vs. Acme from the classic Looney Tunes cartoons. In the original animated shorts, the characters rarely changed because each episode was designed as a standalone adventure. Wile E. Coyote would invent a new plan, purchase another ACME product, chase the Roadrunner, fail in spectacular fashion, and then begin the cycle all over again. There was no lasting growth because the comedy depended on repetition. However, this movie takes a different approach by allowing its main characters to evolve emotionally and personally as the story progresses. The biggest transformation belongs to Wile E. Coyote. For decades, audiences have seen him as a silent genius whose inventions never seem to work. Although he is highly intelligent, he is usually remembered only for his failures. In Coyote vs. Acme, the filmmakers give him a completely new direction. Instead of accepting endless disappointment, Wile E. Coyote finally decides to challenge the system that has repeatedly let him down. This decision marks the beginning of his emotional journey. He is no longer simply chasing the Roadrunner. He is searching for fairness, dignity, and a chance to be heard. As the story unfolds, the audience begins to see qualities that were always hidden beneath the comedy. Wile E. Coyote's intelligence, patience, determination, and resilience become much more visible. His failures no longer define his character. Instead, they become the experiences that have shaped his determination to stand up for himself. This deeper portrayal transforms him from a cartoon icon into a character with genuine emotional depth while still preserving the humor that fans have loved for generations. Another important character who experiences significant growth is Kevin Avery, the lawyer who agrees to represent Wile E. Coyote. At the beginning of the film, Kevin appears uncertain about his career and lacks confidence in his own abilities. He is an ordinary person trying to find his place in a challenging professional world. As he spends more time working with Wile E. Coyote, he gradually becomes more courageous, responsible, and determined. His relationship with the Coyote teaches him valuable lessons about persistence, loyalty, and believing in himself. By the end of the story, Kevin has developed into a much stronger and more confident individual than he was at the beginning. Even the relationship between the two main characters evolves throughout the movie. At first, they are simply a lawyer and his unusual client. As they face challenges together, however, mutual trust and understanding begin to grow. They learn to rely on one another despite coming from completely different worlds. This developing partnership becomes one of the emotional foundations of the film and helps balance its comedy with heartfelt moments. The movie also gives audiences a different perspective on the ACME Corporation. Rather than functioning only as a source of cartoon gadgets, the company becomes an active part of the story's conflict. Through its representatives and legal team, the audience sees how a powerful organization responds when its actions are challenged. This adds another layer of development to the narrative by making the conflict more meaningful than a simple chase between two cartoon characters. An important aspect of the film's character development is that none of these changes feel forced. The personalities that audiences have known for decades remain intact. Wile E. Coyote is still inventive, determined, and endlessly optimistic. His growth comes not from becoming a different character, but from revealing qualities that were always present beneath the surface. This respectful approach allows longtime fans to recognize the classic character while appreciating his new emotional journey. By the conclusion of the movie, viewers understand Wile E. Coyote in a way they never could through the original short cartoons. He is no longer remembered only for exploding rockets, collapsing bridges, or failed inventions. Instead, he becomes a symbol of resilience, determination, and the refusal to let repeated setbacks define one's future. Kevin Avery also completes his own journey from self-doubt to confidence, proving that courage often develops through experience rather than appearing overnight. Overall, Coyote vs. Acme uses character development to transform a familiar cartoon formula into a richer cinematic experience. Without sacrificing its humor or its Looney Tunes identity, the film allows its characters to grow emotionally, strengthen their relationships, and discover new sides of themselves. This deeper storytelling gives audiences a fresh appreciation for characters they have known for generations while making the movie far more emotionally satisfying than a traditional animated chase. The financial side of every Hollywood movie is just as interesting as its story. Two of the biggest numbers that audiences always want to know are the production budget and the box office collection. The budget tells us how much money was invested to make the film, while the box office shows how much revenue the movie earns from ticket sales in cinemas around the world. For Coyote vs. Acme, the reported production budget is approximately $70 million. This budget was used to cover every stage of filmmaking, including script development, salaries for the cast and crew, live-action filming, animation, visual effects, editing, music, sound design, marketing preparation, and many months of post-production. Because the movie combines real actors with classic Looney Tunes animation, a significant portion of the budget was spent on advanced visual effects and animation work to make the cartoon characters blend naturally into live-action scenes. Unlike a traditional live-action film, hybrid movies require two major production processes. First, the live-action scenes are filmed with actors and real locations. Then, animation artists and visual effects teams spend many additional months creating and integrating characters like Wile E. Coyote into every scene. This makes production more time-consuming and technically demanding, which naturally increases the overall cost. When discussing the box office, it is important to understand that a movie begins earning money only after it is officially released in theaters. Ticket sales from cinemas across different countries are added together to calculate the domestic and worldwide box office totals. Industry analysts closely monitor opening day earnings, opening weekend collections, weekday performance, and international revenue to judge a movie's commercial success. As of now, Coyote vs. Acme has not yet generated a final worldwide box office total because its theatrical release has either not begun or is still in its early release period. Final box office figures continue to change every day while a movie remains in theaters. Once the film completes its theatrical run, the total domestic collection, international collection, and worldwide gross will be officially confirmed. Generally speaking, a movie with a production budget of around $70 million usually needs to earn considerably more than its budget at the global box office to become highly profitable. This is because studios must also recover marketing, advertising, distribution, and promotional expenses, which can add tens of millions of dollars to the overall investment. For Coyote vs. Acme, industry observers are paying close attention because of the movie's unusual production history and the strong public interest surrounding its release. Many fans are eager to see whether the film's positive word of mouth, nostalgia, and unique concept will translate into strong ticket sales worldwide. Overall, Coyote vs. Acme represents a significant investment by its studio with a reported production budget of around $70 million. Its final commercial success will ultimately be determined by its worldwide box office performance after audiences around the globe have had the opportunity to watch it in theaters, but one of the biggest reasons audiences enjoy Coyote vs. Acme is the way it combines classic Looney Tunes humor with modern cinematic storytelling. Rather than relying on a single memorable moment, the movie is filled with scenes that showcase comedy, emotion, visual creativity, and character interaction. Instead of focusing only on action, many of the film's strongest moments are designed to deepen the audience's connection with the characters while staying true to the spirit of the original cartoons. One of the most memorable sequences is the moment when Wile Coyote decides to take legal action against the ACME Corporation. This scene is important because it changes the direction of the entire story. For decades, audiences watch the Coyote silently accept one failure after another. But this moment reveals that he has finally reached a point where he wants answers rather than another gadget. It transforms a familiar cartoon joke into the central conflict of a feature-length movie and immediately captures the audience's attention. Another standout moment is the first meeting between Wile E. Coyote and his lawyer, Kevin Avery, the contrast between an ordinary human, attorney, and a silent cartoon genius creates a unique blend of comedy and emotion. As the two characters begin working together, the audience sees the foundation of a partnership that gradually develops into mutual trust and understanding. This scene also demonstrates how naturally the film blends animated characters with live-action performances. The courtroom sequences are among the movie's most engaging moments. Instead of depending only on slapstick comedy, the film introduces clever legal arguments, humorous exchanges, and surprising emotional beats. Watching a famous cartoon character challenge a giant corporation in court is both unexpected and entertaining, making these scenes unlike anything previously seen in the Looney Tunes franchise. Another highlight comes whenever the ACME inventions appear on screen. Fans of the classic cartoons immediately recognize the familiar gadgets that have caused Wile E. Coyote countless disasters over the years. The movie uses these inventions not only as sources of comedy, but also as reminders of the character's long history of persistence and determination. Each appearance of an ACME product brings a sense of nostalgia while reinforcing the movie's central theme. The interactions between Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner also remain among the film's most enjoyable moments. Even though the story explores new territory, the filmmakers preserve the playful rivalry that audiences have loved for generations. Their encounters are filled with visual humor, clever timing, and classic cartoon energy, ensuring that the spirit of the original Looney Tunes shorts remains alive throughout the movie. Visually, some of the film's strongest scenes are those where animated characters move naturally through real-world environments, whether inside offices, courtrooms, or city streets. These moments demonstrate the impressive work of the animation and visual effects teams. The seamless interaction between cartoons and live-action actors helps make the fictional world feel believable without losing its playful charm. The movie also includes several quieter emotional moments that reveal a different side of Wile E. Coyote. These scenes remind audiences that beneath all the comedy is a character who has spent years facing disappointment without ever giving up. By slowing the pace occasionally, the filmmakers allow viewers to appreciate his determination and resilience in a way that the original cartoons never explored. Overall, the best scenes in Coyote vs. Acme succeed because they balance humor, nostalgia, emotion, and creative storytelling. Rather than depending on spectacular action alone, the film creates memorable moments through strong character interactions, imaginative situations, and a fresh interpretation of one of animation's most beloved rivalries. Together, these scenes help transform a classic cartoon concept into a modern cinematic experience that remains entertaining from beginning to end. Every movie has its strengths and weaknesses, and Coyote vs. Acme is no exception. Looking at both the positive and negative aspects helps viewers understand what the film does well and where it may divide audience opinion. Starting with the positives, one of the movie's greatest strengths is its highly original concept. Instead of repeating the classic Roadrunner chase that audiences have seen for decades, the filmmakers introduce a completely fresh idea by imagining Wile E. Coyote taking legal action against the ACME Corporation. This unique premise immediately makes the film stand out from other family movies and gives longtime Looney Tunes fans something new to experience. Another major positive is the combination of live action and animation. The visual effects are designed to make the animated Looney Tunes characters interact naturally with real actors in real-world environments. This blend preserves the classic appearance and personality of the characters while presenting them with modern filmmaking technology. For many viewers, this nostalgic yet updated style is one of the film's biggest attractions. We began by introducing the movie and explaining what makes Coyote vs. Acme such a unique project. We talked about the overall story, its genre, and the creative idea behind turning one of the oldest running jokes and animation history into a full-length Hollywood feature film. We also discussed the official release date, the movie's runtime, and why that runtime is perfectly suited for a family adventure that combines comedy, emotion, and visual spectacle. From there, we explored the production side of the film in great detail. We looked at the production companies that brought this ambitious project to life, the director who guided the entire production, the writers who transformed a short satirical article into a complete screenplay, and the producers who supervised every stage of filmmaking.
We also explained
Why this movie was made in the first place and what inspired the filmmakers to create such an original story based on classic Looney Tunes characters. We then moved on to the official trailer, breaking down what it reveals about the movie without spoiling the experience. We discussed how audiences reacted to the trailer, why millions of people were excited to watch it, and how fans responded across social media. After that, we explored the filming locations, explaining where the movie was shot and why those locations were chosen to create the perfect balance between live action, filmmaking, and animated storytelling. Next, we introduced both the main cast and the supporting cast, explaining the role each actor plays in the story and how they help bring the movie to life. We also spent time analyzing the main characters, discussing their personalities, motivations, and how they develop throughout the film. We explored the deeper themes and symbolism hidden beneath the comedy, showing that this movie is about much more than simple laughs. It also touches on perseverance, justice, resilience, responsibility, and never giving up. We also took a fascinating look behind the scenes, sharing interesting facts about the movie's production, the challenges of combining animation with live action, and the remarkable journey this film experienced before finally reaching audiences. We discussed the movie's production budget, its box office expectations, and what commercial success could mean for the future of the Looney Tunes franchise. Towards the end of the video, we highlighted some of the film's best scenes, explaining why they stand out without revealing unnecessary spoilers. We also looked at both the positive and negative aspects of the movie, giving a balanced view of its strengths, and the areas where some viewers may have different opinions. This way, you can decide for yourself what to expect before watching the film. If you've stayed with me until this point, you've now learned almost everything there is to know about Coyote versus Acme. My goal is always to provide complete, well-researched, and detailed movie breakdowns so that every video on HollyBuzz gives you real value rather than just a quick summary. I want every viewer to leave with a deeper understanding of the film and the people who worked hard to create it. If you enjoyed this video and appreciate this kind of detailed movie content, please support the channel by leaving a like, sharing the video with your friends, and subscribing to HollyBuzz. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you'll be the first to know whenever I upload another complete movie breakdown, behind-the-scenes analysis, box office report, cast introduction, or Hollywood update. Finally, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Are you planning to watch Coyote vs. Acme? Do you think this fresh take on Wile E. Coyote's story will be successful? Which part of today's breakdown did you find the most interesting? Share your opinion in the comments below because I read your feedback, and it helps shape future videos. Thank you so much for spending your time with me today and for supporting HollyBuzz. Your support means everything and motivates me to continue creating longer, more detailed, and higher quality movie content. Until our next video, take care of yourselves, stay safe, keep enjoying great cinema, and I'll see you again very soon with another exciting Hollywood movie breakdown. Goodbye, and thanks for watching.